ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां शङ्कराचार्यमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनः यस्यान्तं न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः। देवाय तस्मै नमः। श्लोक नंबर 8। अथ तृतीयोऽध्यायः। श्रीभगवानुवाच नियतं कुरु कर्म त्वं कर्म ज्यायो ह्यकर्मणः शरीरयात्रापि च ते न प्रसिद्ध्येद कर्मणः यज्ञार्थात् कर्मणोऽन्यत्र लोकोऽयं कर्मबन्धनः तदर्थं कर्म कौन्तेय मुक्तसङ्गः समाचर सह यज्ञाः प्रजा सृष्ट्वा पुरोवाच प्रजापतिः अनेन प्रसविष्यध्वम् एष वो त्विष्ठ कामधुक्। After talking about the importance of Karma Yoga, Bhagavan is presenting Karma Yoga from different angles. The first way of looking at Karma Yoga is carrying out the Ajna, the instruction of the Lord. Karma Yoga is a way of life, the duties prescribed by the Lord. So one way of looking it, I follow the instructions of the Lord given through the Vedas, given through the scriptures. And of course, certain common sense duties also are there, but many of them are prescribed in the Shastra. And we don't have to study all Shastras. We have been given the teachers. We have been blessed with the elders. Pujya Swamiji used to use the word Vruddha Vyavahara. Vruddha Vyavahara means what? The behavior of elderly people. So by seeing them, by learning from them, also we get the knowledge of our duties. And most of the time, the lack of knowledge of duty is not a problem. Most of the time we know our duties. But we have got our likes and dislikes We have so much pressure created by likes and dislikes, because of which we do not do our duties. So Bhagavan says, if you really consider yourself to be my devotee, then you carry out my instructions. And that instruction is the life of Karma Yoga. Many people they say I am a devotee of Bhagavan, but I don't like to do all these duties. So some people they claim themselves to be great devotees of some Swami, but what that Swami tells they are not ready to do. So your real devotion to any Swamiji is carrying out, following his teaching, his instructions, his suggestion. And that is one way of looking at Karma Yoga. Second way of looking at Karma Yoga is doing all karmas as worship of the Lord. And worship of the Lord is called yajna. So what is Karma Yoga? Karma Yoga is a yajna way of life. Let my every action be the worship of the Lord. And the Lord I worship how? Not that I go to the temple and worship. That also is worship. But the Lord is available in the form of various devatas, various natural forces, in fact in the form of the entire world. And I worship the world, I serve the world. That also is yajna, the worship of the Lord. We have this saying that Manava Seva is Madhava Seva. So worshipping the human beings is worshipping the Lord. Then in Ramana Maharshi they said that Jagata Ishadi Yukta Sevanam. Serving the Lord, serving the world with the idea that it is manifestation of Ishvara. It is manifestation of various devatas. That also is yajna way of life, and that is Karma Yoga. So I focus more on doing my duties as my offering to the Lord. That is Karma Yoga. And what is the significance of this yajna way of life? That was presented in the 12th shloka, saying that the Lord who is seen in the form of various devatas. Yesterday in the last class we had seen devatas means a particular aspect of the Lord. The Lord seen from a particular angle is called devatas. When I look upon the Lord from the standpoint of rain and thunders and etc., then I call him Indra. The Lord seen from the angle of this fire temperature, I call him Agni Devatas. The Lord I seen from the faculty of my seeing, I call him the Aditya Devata. So in our tradition, everything is looked upon reverentially as the manifestation of Ishvara. So for us everything is Devata. That is why we can worship the tree, we can worship the snake, we can worship the car. In India, when the driver starts his driving, first he does namaskara to steering wheel, just like this, and then he starts. The people from abroad will not understand what is he doing, Some button is pressing or what? It's not a button. In fact, it's button also. So that is reverential attitude. Reverential attitude to the Lord, looking upon everything as Devata. For us, study of the scripture is a worship of Saraswati. So we look upon the textbook as Saraswati. Therefore, we don't step on that. We don't use it like as an asanam. There is nothing to sit on, so we sit on the book. That is not Indian culture. We look upon everything reverentially. Now slowly that is people are losing. I see many times that a pamphlet of Bhagavad Gita or something is given, they use it as fan also. In front of me itself they do it. And that's not Indian culture. We respect the book. So everything is looked upon as Devata. Wealth is looked upon as Lakshmi Devi. Therefore 1 rupee we can't get, 1 apple we cannot get. Still, we don't step on 1 rupee note. So for us, such a Devata, Lakshmi. Everything, in fact, in Vijayadashmi day, we do this Chandanam Kumkum to this all almiras and all, gadgets we do, all computer, etc. they do. I used to do on pen and pencil also because they are the ones we use so much. We do all this. So here it is said, Karma Yoga is a yajna way of life. And yajna way of life means you propitiate devatas, various aspects of the Lord, various natural forces, and devatas will propitiate you. It is a life of mutual cooperation. Generally, in the materialistic world, the world is seen as the source to be exploited. In fact, they use the word. Economics is the discipline of knowledge dealing with the exploitation of natural resources. The very language, the very approach itself is wrong. The world is not something to be exploited. The nature is not something to be exploited. The world is something to be cooperated with. Puja Swamiji very nicely said, when he was talking about the cows, he said, they take care of us and we take care of them. What a nice way of saying. Not that we exploit them and they try to exploit. No. We take care of them, they take care of us. So similarly, all devatas I propitiate by leading the life of harmony, life of contribution. And in return, devatas will bless me by regular seasons, regular rain, prosperity. And thus, yajna is a way of life where you connect with the totality in harmonious way. It is something like, through some device you get connected to the network. And when you are connected to the network, you have got access to a lot of data. So yajna is a way of connecting yourself to the totality. The commentator says, a yajna becomes a link to establish the connection between you and devatas. Upakarya upakaraka bhava. Devatas can bless you and you can propitiate the devatas by way of yajna. Yajna generally mean rituals. Even those rituals also was a very good event for the wealth distribution. In Bhagavata is a very beautiful description is there. When there was some more prosperity, more wealth during 1 year, then it was suggested in the Nanda Grama, it was suggested, let us do the ritual. So when a king has got more wealth, how to distribute the wealth? By doing yajnas. And if you see how big yajnas are done, the entire society is involved. Everybody gains. And that is one only symbolic way of wealth distribution. But way of life, the yajna way of life, where you contribute to nature and nature contributes to you. You contribute to natural forces, natural phenomena, and nature blesses you by giving prosperity. It is a win-win situation. Here, what is the approach? I want to exploit nature. And therefore, what happens? Nature as if gets angry with me. We are seeing in Delhi pollution. Not only Delhi, all over the world, this is a big problem. That's why Dubai, they have got some conference on that, Millions of rupees, millions of dollars they are spending. Why? They are not leading the yajna way of life. If they are leading this conference, not required. That means they can use for some contribution to the society, to the world. So we are expert in this. We are expert in creating problems and then having conferences on solving the problem. So that's what we have been doing. So better, I always say, the best manager is the one who prevents crisis. I mean, you must have heard this. I have read somewhere. The best manager is who prevents crisis, not creates crisis and solves the crisis. Generally, management people, that, there was a big crisis and he solved it. That's not a great thing. Best thing is you can prevent crisis, prevent problems. It is like they say prevention is better than cure. So that is the yajna way of life. You don't create disharmony with the world. You lead a harmonious life. You live a life of harmony with the universe, with the nature. And that is said here. Yajna devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantuvaha. We have read this shloka now. Okay. Devan bhavayatanena te deva bhavayantu vaha parasparam bhavayantah श्रेयः paramavapsyatha. So he said, Devan bhavayata anena. So Bhagavan is giving the instructions to all human beings through Vedas. What is that? Anena, by this yajna way of life, Devan, to the natural forces, to the totality, bhavayata. Bhavayata means nourish, propitiate. By yajna way of life, may you, all human beings, propitiate, nourish devas, all natural forces, all these natural phenomena, all forms of totalities. You always lead the life of harmony with totality, not having the attitude of exploitation of totality, exploitation of nature, the life of contribution to nature, life of harmony with nature. One cause of pollution in Delhi is that the farmers are burning stubbles. Why they want to burn? Because there is a very small window between this harvesting one crop and sowing the seed for other crop. And therefore they want. But if they lead, if they use the harmonious ways to dispose that stubble, then it will be beneficial. But they want fast. Because of that, this greed, because of that anxiety, they are not ready to wait. And because of that, they cause problem for themselves. It is not that they will not have pollution. They also will have. And they cause pollution to others. So generally, human being has tendency to think in self-centered manner. And because of that, what happens? He harms himself in long run and he harms the society also in long run. And that is what is said here, that you avoid that type of living. You nourish these natural forces. Our all 5 yajnas are also that. This Deva Yajna means what? You are offering the ritual, offering the oblations to these devatas. And that will make you attain the grace of the devatas. And this Manushya, the Pitru Yajnas, you contribute to the well-beings of your forefathers and also by extension by your parents. You have received so much from your parents and you contribute to your parents. And seeing you serving your parents, your children will learn how to treat parents. Otherwise, you have mistreated the parents, then you cannot expect your children to treat you well. And moreover, when you are treating your parents well, you are receiving their blessings. You are receiving the result of their prayers. Otherwise, what will happen? Unknowingly, they will have the curse. Even though they don't mean, but that may happen. So, the Pitru Yajna means I contribute to the previous generation. And in turn, they will bless me. Similarly, Brahma Yajna, I have been benefited by this Shastra. I have been benefited by the blessings of rishis, because of which I have got this knowledge. And in turn, I contribute to the spreading of Shastra. So I contribute to Devatas, Devatas contribute to me. This is a life of cooperation. The modern world talks about competition. He said competition brings the best in you. Really speaking, cooperation brings the best. Life of cooperation brings harmony and happiness. And that is said here, Devan Bhavayata Anena. May you propitiate the Devatas by way of Yajna, and Te Deva Bhavayantu Vaha. Those Devatas will Bhavayantu, they also would bless you, nourish you. In this manner, Parasparam Bhavayantaha. In this manner, nourishing each other, propitiating each other, helping each other, Shreya Param Avapsyatha. May you attain the highest well-being. And here highest well-being, immediately speaking, the higher lokas or the higher well-being in the society, greater well-being in the society, and the ultimate meaning of Shreyaha is Mokshaha. If you live the life of Yajna, then you have got purity of the mind. If you have got purity of the mind, you will be fit for self-knowledge, and self-knowledge gives you Mokshaha. Therefore, Yajna is leading you to Mokshaha. So, Yajna is a way of material prosperity, and Yajna also is a way of spiritual prosperity. And that is why it is said, Param Shreya Vapsyatha. So Vedas are not against material prosperity. Vedas are not against science and technology. In fact, we had lot of development of science and technology. We hear that how these aeroplanes were there, and they had all, at least theory they had, whether they really had technology at that time, but at least they had. So we have so much development in all material fields. It is not that we were only focusing on this tapas or focusing only on studying Brahma. No, it was not that. We had holistic approach. You have got the material aspect and spiritual aspect. You are consisting of this matter and spirit, both. Therefore, both aspects are taken care of. In life, we lose because of having lopsided growth. Some people focus only on money, and therefore what happens? They ignore the social life, they ignore these family values, they ignore this necessity, the need of the family members to be together, and therefore what happens? At the end of his life, I mean these last days of his life, he or she feels lonely, because he had not given time to remain connected with the family. He thought just giving money itself is the biggest thing. Money itself is not a way of connecting with people. Money is one of the ways. With the help of money, you can give some, express your love and care by getting things to people, but that is not the only way. And therefore, here it is said, you attain the holistic growth by this yajna way of life. And holistic growth means material prosperity and spiritual well-being. Both you will attain by yajna way of life. And therefore, Arjuna, yajna way of life is karma yoga, and that is the means for holistic growth. And now, Bhagavan is telling that how this karma yoga helps the person, and if person does not lead the life of karma yoga, how he becomes a loser. That is called showing the significance by Anvaya and Vyatireka method. Anvaya method means what? You show the co-presence. If A is there, B is there. If you do yoga, you have got health. If you do not do yoga, your exercise, you will have health issues. That is called Vyatireka method. So when you want to show the significance of anything, you use these two methods. Co-presence, Anvaya, and co-absence, Vyatireka. And so Bhagavan is showing both the methods to show the significance of yajna way of life. Ishtan bhogan hivo devaha. दास्यन्ते यज्ञभाविताः तैर्दत्तानप्रदायैभ्यः यो भुङ्क्तेस्तेन एव सः. He says, Devaha, all deities who are presiding over the natural forces, all the deities who are presiding over these samashti, various total aspects of the world, they dasyanti, they will give, dasyante, they will give ishtan bhogan, all desired things. It will give you dharma, artha, kama. Dharma, one meaning is the punyam which leads to the better lot in the future, that is called dharma. And artha, this prosperity, kama, pleasure, all the things will be given to you. So don't think the life of karma yogi will be a miserable life. People generally think that if I lead the life of seva, life of service, life of contribution, then what will be my life? I will not be able to enjoy. That is a wrong concern. In fact, when you surrender yourself to the totality, when you offer yourself to the totality, you are connected with the totality. The totality becomes your wealth. If you are connected with only one, then only that much is yours. But when you connect yourself, you offer yourself to the totality, everything is yours. Pujya Swamiji, I remember, he said, people say that the Swami has got 3 ashrams, one in Anaikatti, one in Rishikesh, one in Salisbury. It's a humbug. He said, wherever I go are my ashrams. All ashrams are my ashrams. And I have seen that any center he goes, he takes care of that. He inquires about the well-being of that place. People think that this place belongs to him only. He doesn't have that division. So every place is his place. But what happens? We say, this is mine, this is mine. Like a child does not, it is mine, it is my money. Child gets some gift. I mean, when I don't know how it is, but olden days when the guest comes, he gives some 5 rupees and all to the children. But they cannot give directly to the parents. So they give to the children. Child feels very great about it. This is my money. This is my money. So holding on to that limited ones. Whereas the right way is you get connected with the totality. And then what will happen? Devaha ishtan bhogan dasyante. All the devatas, all the natural forces will grant you all that is required. In fact, in this world, there is enough for everybody's need. Only thing, people have greed and therefore there is a shortage. There is an imbalance in distribution and therefore some people are dying because of starvation and some people are dying because of overeating. We have got both type of situation. In obesity based, so many diseases are there. People are eating so much, too much eating. And because of people are dying. And some people are dying because they don't get enough food. Imagine those who are eating too much, if they share with what the people who don't have, then we don't have problem. So when there is a yajna way of life, then everybody gets what one needs. Devaha ishtan bhogan dasyante. And you have seen that the people who offer themselves to the totality is ready to take care of that person. You know, in Tamil Nadu, there was one person, one librarian. He had given all his wealth, and when he needed, and he said, I want 1 rupee only, everybody should give 1 rupee. There are hundreds and thousands of rupees came for his treatment. People are ready to give so much. Rajnikant said that I will adopt you as my father. Because he offered whole salary to the charity. That type of life, when you surrender to the totality, Totality is available. But what happens? We have got fear that if I give everything, what will happen to me? For sometimes there may be some difficulties, but finally will be taken care of. See, Gandhiji did not possess, I don't think he possessed any individual wealth. He gave his life to the totality, and we have never heard that Gandhiji did not have food for one day. Gandhiji did not know where to stay. He did not have this problem. When you take care, when you surrender to the totality, totality is available to serve you. In fact, totality is looking for such person. They are carriers. They are the ones who are spreading the source, the all resources. And therefore, Bhagavan also is looking for such person who is ready to be such distributor. Because everybody, what happens? Bhagavan gives and then person holds on to that wealth. Bhagavan has given thinking that he will distribute. He doesn't distribute. That's what Bhagavan is going to say. Such a person is a thief. But if you lead the life of harmony, then Devaha Dasyante. And what type of Devaha? Yajna Bhavitaha. The Devatas who have been propitiated by the Yajna way of life, they will grant what all is required for people. And now Bhagavan says, if you do not have this Yajna way of life, then what will happen? Tehi dattan apradaya bhunte yaha. One who enjoys, consumes, what? Bhogan, all bhogas, tan, all those bhogas which are tehi dattan, which are given by the devatas. So a person consumes all the desired ends given by the gods apradaya ebhyaha, without offering to the devatas. So we have received things from devatas and we have to offer some, at least some part of it to the devatas. And they consume without returning. Bhagavan says, Sahas tenaha eva. That person is a thief alone. It is something like somebody has used infrastructure for one's material the economical growth, and he doesn't pay the tax. Stena eva sa, we say tax invader. Chora, it's called Karachora. In Hindi there is a word Karachora, means tax invader. So you use the system, but when there was a time to pay the tax, you try to invade it. Evade it. So tax evader is a stena. Similarly, Bhagavan has given me different resources. I share with others. But some people, without sharing with others, they think that everything is for my consumption alone and don't distribute. Then it is a stena. It is something like I tell Sridivas, this sweet has come, somebody has given, you distribute to others. So he simply takes this to his room. Then what? Stena. I am giving his example because he will not do it. Yeah, therefore I am giving. Some other example No, I know that he will not do it and he won't mind my giving example. Therefore I am telling. I cannot give one somebody who has come first time. He says, Swami, I am not like this. So I don't want to hear that. So Bhagavan has given to you thinking that you will consume. You also consume. But you will distribute to everybody and you are one of the partakers, one of the consumers. You are not the only one. So Bhagavan says, anybody who receives things from the Lord and does not return to the world, that person is tenaha, is a choraha. Bhagavan uses a very strong word. He is a thief. So if we are not contributing to the world, to the society, to various natural forces, then we are stenaha. We may be called gentlemen, but we are stenaha. And one commentator said, what is the meaning, what is the idea conveyed by stenaha? Stena means a thief. Taskaravad dandaniyaha. That person will be punished by the Lord as it were. And what is the punishment? You continue to remain in the life of samsara, life of stress, life of tension, depression, frustration. That is the punishment. So Bhagavan says, if you follow the life of yajna, you will be blessed. If you do not follow the life of yajna, you will have this punishment in the form of continuation in the life of samsara. Life will be full of reaction. When there is a self-centeredness, then there will be so much anxiety. You can see that when in your family you have so much self-centeredness. I should get my food, I should get the best food, I should get the best room, I should get the best bed. Then what will happen? All the time you will be anxious. You will put 2 locks in your room, on your door. Why? You are so anxious. Nobody should touch. 3-4 locks for your money, everything. You imagine if husband and wife, they are having the suspicion that this fellow will go away and take away money and go away, and he also thinks that she will go away. Imagine what type of life they will have. This fellow always have to put security camera and he has to see all the time what she is doing, what she is doing. What a life, imagine. So more self-centeredness you have, more anxiety you will have, more stress you will have. When you are ready to share, if my brother eats, it is as good as my eating. Then you will not have to worry about it. Otherwise, when a food is distributed, then I want to go first. Because others will get it, I will not get it. There is no such thing. When you go to the dining hall, if some people are there before me, if they get and I don't get it, I will take something else. No, that sweet, I will not get it. So I should go first. Then it will create anxiety. And if somebody tries to come before you, you will fight with that person. Why you come? I was first. So more this cooperative life of sharing you have, then more harmony, more peace is there. If it is that life of self-centeredness is there, all the time, I want my benefit only, then there is anxiety. Person is tenaha, person is a thief. And being a thief, what? He will be punished in this life of samsara. And that is why Bhagavan gave the importance that if you want to be happy, prosperous, even materially, then have this life of this yajna. And if you have only the life of grabbing, then stenaha, there will be suffering. And here Bhagavan Shankaracharya ji very nicely says, enjoying the bhogas, enjoying the things without giving to the devatas means what? Anranyam akritva. He says very nicely. He said, without repaying the debt to the totality. In our tradition, we have so much value for repaying the debts. This is a modern trend where every party gives a promise. What is the promise? We'll waive off the loan. So all these people who have taken loan, they are waiting for this announcement. So they feel that why should we repay the loan? Anyway, next party will come and they will waive off the loan. In our tradition, there was a great value that if I have taken some loan from someone, I should repay at any cost. If I have to forgo some of my comforts, I don't mind, but I have to repay the loan first. In fact, sometimes if father is not able to repay the loan, at the deathbed he will tell his son, see, I have taken this, first you repay, then only you buy everything else. I remember one person was telling, he said my father had, when he was dying, he told that I have taken some 200 rupees, so you repay, then only you buy anything else. That is the value. So in our tradition, there is a value for repaying the debt. And In general, we have three types of debts. One is called Deva Runam, other is called Pitru Runam, and third is called Rishi Runam. Runam means debt. Deva Runam means we are blessed by various natural forces presided over by deities. Agni Devata, Vayu Devata, Aditya Devatas. So we are blessed by them. And therefore we are indebted to them. That is called Deva Runam. Second is called Pitru Runam, the debt to our forefathers. See, because my forefathers were there, they had maintained certain tradition, therefore I am benefited by those samskaras, those values. So I am indebted to them. In fact, I am here because they were there. They took care of their next generation, therefore I am here. So I am indebted to my Pitrus, the forefathers. That's called Pitru Runam. Third is called Rishi Runam, the debt to the rishis. Whatever Shastra I am able to study, whether it is a Vyakarana Shastra, whether it is a Jyotisha Shastra, all these Vedangas, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakarana, Nirukta, Chanda, Jyotisha, all the Shastras I am getting benefited because of so many rishis. So many people have worked on it, they have preserved it, they have contributed to it. So I am having this big treasure of knowledge because of the contribution of so many people. And therefore I am indebted to rishis. So these are the three runas we traditionally accept. Every person is born with these three runas. And this idea is not to create any guilt. Idea is to create the sense of responsibility. Idea is to make you sensitive to in what all ways you are blessed. And we talk about these three and how to repay this debt. See, Devatas, how will you repay? In Shastra it is said, by doing the rituals, by the pujas, by some upasanas, we repay the debt to Devatas. So, Devanam Anrunyam Yagnena Pujaya Upasanaya. Then, Pitrurunam by how? Pitrurunam, one is that we do Shraddha, Tarpana, and one interesting thing is having progeny is also one way of repaying the debt to the forefathers. Continuation of lineage is my contribution to these forefathers. Because traditionally, why it is important? Because if you have progeny, then that progeny will do the Shraddha Karma, so that the Pitrus will receive their share. And therefore, in our tradition, there was an emphasis on having the progeny. Now there is a modern trend, that, oh, Swamiji, we want to get married, but children we don't like, That was not our culture. Yeah, if you don't get children because of some physical reason, that is all right. But positively having these values, no, I want to just enjoy, Swamiji, life. Marriage is meant for only company. Marriage is meant only for enjoyment. According to our tradition, marriage is meant for dharma. Of course, dharma, artha, kama, all, but pradhanyena dharma. And in dharma, one dharma is to have progeny. But as I said that I don't want to create complex. By chance it happened that there are some physiological reason because of which there is no progeny. It is all right. But having this value that I do want to take responsibility of any new generation, that is not Indian thinking. Some people give philosophy of also. He says, Swamiji, this world, so many problems are there, and therefore I don't want to bring one more jiva to have suffering. That's how they try to justify. That's not our culture. Anyway, so Pitru Runam is by doing the Shraddha, Tarpana and having progeny. Progeny, if you are not becoming sannyasi. If you are becoming sannyasi, then you are exempted from that. If you become sannyasi, from brahmacharya ashrama itself, if you take sannyasa, you are exempted. Otherwise, you will ask Swamiji, what about you, Swamiji? You did not fulfill this duty. Therefore, I am telling that for a sannyasi, exemption is and I will be in trouble. Alright. Then the third runam is the Rishi runam, our debt to our rishis. How do we fulfill? By studying the Shastras. And when opportunity is there, sharing this teaching and contributing to the activities of teaching wherever it is going on. That is way of repaying the debt to these Pitrus. And rishis, repaying the debt to the rishis. And in our Shastra, there is a great value for this anrunyam, repaying the debt. And repaying the debt means what? Acknowledging the gifts received and expressing the gratitude in appropriate way, that is called repaying the debt. That is called anrunyam. This is a very beautiful word. Anrunyam means repaying the debt. Reciprocating the favor. That is called anrunyam. In fact, that can be our trait, natural trait. Means we can develop it so well that it comes very spontaneous to us. Anytime anything we receive, we acknowledge. Some people are so gross. They receive so much and don't even acknowledge that they have received. We have sent something and we are waiting whether this person received or not. They don't acknowledge. Every time you receive any favor from anyone, first thing, acknowledge. And have the gratitude in the heart. And whenever there is appropriate occasion, express it well. Express your gratitude to that person. To the teacher, to the parents, to the friends, to the any part of the world, any aspect of this universe, from wherever we have received, first off, we should have sensitivity to appreciate the contribution of the world. Many people say, Swamiji, I am a self-made person. Big humbug. Nobody is self-made. You don't know that you were fed by so many people, you were educated by so many people. So much you have received from so many people and you say, I am a self-made person. No. So always remember that you have received so much from Ishvara, from so many aspects of Ishvara, and have that attitude, I want to give as an expression of gratitude. That is called Yajna way of life. And it is said that if you do not have this gratefulness, it is considered to be a big dosha, big defect. And for that defect, there is no neutralization. There is a beautiful saying, Nishkrutasya krutagne nasti nishkritihi. There are so many what is called offenses for which there is some neutralization. But a person is ungrateful, then there is no neutralization. Person has to become grateful, then only he will be free from the defect. And Puja Swamiji very nicely used to say that gratitude is a sign of maturity. Means if I have gratitude means I am sensitive, I am growing. And Bhagavan says here, if person does not have this gratitude to the world, to the Lord who is in the form of the world, then that person is tenaha. And therefore, let there be life of gratitude and expression of gratitude, and that is called Karma Yoga. So when I am serving the world, I am not obliging the world. In fact, I am repaying. If somebody has given you pen, and when you return, do you feel that, oh, I am returning, say thank you to me, I am returning your pen. We cannot say that. In fact, we should say thanks. We return with thanks. We don't expect thanks from the person. Nowadays, we have to thank also because persons generally don't return. So we have to say thank you for returning. But generally, we should thank the person when we are returning. So when I am serving the world, serving the devatas, serving the pitrus, the attitude is what? I am just expressing my gratitude. I am so much indebted to them, and I am I am repaying the debt. So when I am serving my parents, I am not obliging them. I am expressing my gratitude. I am repaying the debt. So that while serving, there will be humility. Because otherwise, people become so arrogant about it. And sometimes, when they don't get sufficient appreciation, they have got some bitterness also. They say, Swamiji, I do so much, but nobody recognizes me. Whereas this person did very little and he got award. Means what? I did not get award. That is the burning. But when you say, I did it because I am supposed to do it. I did it because I am so much indebted to the world. And that is how Bhagavan highlighted the importance of yajna way of life. And the similar idea is given in the next shloka, highlighting that this yajna way of life makes the person pure. That idea is highlighted in the next shloka. Yajna shishtashinas santaha मुच्यन्ते सर्वकिल्बिषैः भुञ्जते ते त्वघं पापाः ये पचन्त्यात्मकारणात्. So Bhagavan says, Santaha is a very beautiful word. Santa means noble people. In Hindi they say Sant. Sant log bolte हैं ना, Sant Tulsidas. Santa means, Santa is a plural in the Sanskrit. Santa means good person, noble person. Saintly person. Nicely, noble, saintly person. We have got a word saint. So saintly person, noble person. Those noble people are Yajna Shishta Shinaha. It's a very beautiful expression. To understand this word, we have to understand the context of the ritual. Puja. Let us make it simpler. Puja is one way of yajna. And in puja, one step is Naivedyam. You offer something to Bhagavan. Some banana you offer, or some pongal you offer, something you offer. And after offering to the Lord, when you receive it back, it is called prasada. Many people in South India they know, but in North India they say हमने भगवान को प्रसाद लगाया. So what you offer to the Lord is not prasada. What you offer to the Lord is called Daivedyam. What you receive from the Lord is called prasada. So Yajna Shishta means what is remaining after this worship of the Lord. It's called Yajna Shishta. We can use the word Yajna Prasada. Swami Chinmayananda used to use this word Yajna Prasada. At the end of the Gnani Yajna, the talk series, he used to give a book. And that is called Yajna Prasada. So many people not knowing that, they will think some Sundal Pongal will come. Yajna Prasada. So Prasada means that which is remaining at the end, that which is offered at that which is received at the end of the worship. So Yajna Shishta means the prasada of Yajna. Ashinaha means one who is consuming, partaking. So Yajna Shishta Ashinaha means those who are consuming, experiencing, partaking the prasada which is received from Yajna. Means you do activities, and every activity will have some result. And that result is called Yajna Shishta. And Ashina means those who are experiencing, partaking. So Yajna Shishta Ashinaha means the people who are receiving the prasada of puja, their worship to the Lord. So any action you do, it will have some material result. You are doing some project, it will have some material results. Some people are benefited and they will appreciate or don't appreciate. Whatever is there is called Yajna Shishta. So Yagna Shishta means prasada, and Yagna Shishta Shinaha means those who are receiving the result of karma as prasada. And such people muchyante, they are released from sarva kilbishaihi, from all papas. So religiously speaking, every grahastha will be incurring 5 types of papam every day. This is a religious details. You need not have complex. I mean, already I am feeling papi and you are adding more. So it is not that, but just religious details. Every grahasthas in a classical situation, now also in some way or the other, there are 5 types of papa. One, they are having different names also. Kuttani, Peshani, Chulli, Udakumbi, cha Marjani. So, Kuttani means the thrashing, this dehusking the paddy. So, you will have paddy and you dehusk it. That is called Kuttani. And when you do that, some insects are killed. Some himsa happens. Kuttani. Then you may say, Swamiji, I don't do it, I am get pure rice, but you are a part of it. You are using it now. So you are a contributor to that himsa. So this himsa, the violence, the harm caused to certain jivas in the process of thrashing, in the process of dehusking of the grains, that is called kuttani. That causes one type of papa. Peshani. Peshani means grounding. This making flour. Even out of wheat or out of the chana, etc., you make the flour. That is called peshani. So you make idli. So for that you have to do grounding. This grounding is required. That is called peshani. That will also cause some papa. Some insects will be there. You may not be able to see. You know. So in a way, everybody is non-vegetarian. In a way. So because some non-veg happens. Peshani. And then chulli. When you are having this stove, then it involves some himsa. Many some insects in those days used to use wood, etc. So some insects will be burned. Now also behind the gas sometimes the insects are there or around that some insects will be killed. So chulli, udakumbi. In those days they used to bring water, fetch water, and in that process also sometimes the insects will be killed. Now also you do chlorination, etc., some insects are killed. And marjani, when sweeping. Sweeping also involves some himsa. This doesn't mean Swamiji, I will stop sweeping from tomorrow. That is not the message. These are the 5 inevitable things you are doing as a grahasthas. It will involve some papa, but those papas can be neutralized by Panchayagna. So message is not that you stop Swamiji, I will not bring water, I will not do threshing, you cannot avoid. So our Shastras have got very practical approach. See, anyway this will happen. Like when operation is to be done, some bleeding will happen. We cannot avoid. Some pain will be there. But that can be neutralized by certain care, by certain antibiotics. So similarly, our Shastras are giving antibiotics. That these 5 papas will happen anyway. So these 5 papas can be neutralized by these 5 types of yajna. So that is said here, Sarva Kilbishahi means all types of papa. These 5 are very popular, and any other papa. Bhashyakara says, Prabhada Kruta Himsa Janitahi. So somebody may say, Swamiji, I am not doing any one of this. You will be doing anyway indirectly. But even if you think you are not doing, but every day you will be hurting some way or the other to someone. Through your words you may hurt. When you are walking you are hurting. So some himsa will happen. You cannot avoid. And that can be neutralized by the yajna way of life. You offer the oblations, you express your gratitude, then by that these papas will be reduced. This is one way of looking at it. Some people say, Swamiji, I don't believe in this punya papa and all this. Okay, so for that we have a little wider explanation of the word papa. Papa is that which obstructs your spiritual pursuit. So anything comes in your way, that is your papa. And what comes in your way to pursue this self-knowledge? Mainly our likes and dislikes. See, why you are not able to study Vedanta with full commitment? Because of Swamiji, I likes to watch this cricket match, now T20 going on, the World Cup was going on. So because of that, I am not able to study. When I was conducting classes in Bangalore, one person told me, I had only 2-3 students there initially. So he was one of them. He said, Swami, tomorrow I will not come for the class. Why? Cricket match is there. So okay, I said, so likes and dislikes are there. So there's a certain thing I don't like, Swami. That fellow is coming to the class, I don't like to come. So stop coming. So my likes and dislikes are becoming the obstacles in pursuing self-knowledge. In fact, likes and dislikes are the obstacles. You see, why you are not able to pursue the way you want to pursue moksha? Likes and dislikes. So likes and dislikes also can be seen as papa. Anything that obstructs my pursuit of moksha is papam. And that papam can be reduced by yajna way of life. When I learn to live the life of contribution to the society, the life of sharing, life of harmony, then slowly what happens? My likes and dislikes are reduced. When I have commitment to do puja, I have commitment to do Sandhya Vandanam, then I have to get up early. At 9 o'clock, 10 o'clock, you cannot do the Pratha Sandhya. So you have to get up early. So your life for this sleeping little more, remaining awake till late night has to be reduced. And today is Upavasa, today we eat only after this particular Chandra Darshanam. So your likes for eating earliest, that will be reduced. In fact, when you lead the life of commitment to duties, your likes and dislikes will be reduced. See, if you want to serve your parents, then your likes and dislikes for your own comforts, your own luxury will be reduced. Any duty involves some sacrifice. Any significant duty involves sacrifice. That is why in olden days, for a sannyasi, this life of service to gurus were prescribed. Why? Because some likes and dislikes are still remaining. They will be taken care of by service to the guru. Because serving the guru is not easy. You have to let go your comfort. If before guru gets up, you have to get up. Otherwise, guru has to get up and tell, hey, make tea for me. So what type of shishya you are? So that doesn't happen. And therefore, I tell you, when you have the life of seva, your own likes and dislikes will be reduced. So when you have the life of service to the totality, then kilbisha, the impurity in the form of this raga and dvesha will be reduced. And one who does not lead such life, they are bhunjate tu agam papaha ye pachanti atma karanat. The people who cook for themselves, atma karana means for oneself, ye pachanti, the people who cook only for themselves, those people who are already papaha, already given to papa, and agam bhunjate, they are eating papa. Bhagavan uses a very symbolic language. The people who cook only for themselves, they are eating papa. And now, Swamiji, I am eating rice for myself and I am eating rice only. The idea is they are accumulating more and more papa. More about this we'll see in the next class. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti 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 Hari Om Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Next week also we will have the class. Swami Viditatmanji and his student is coming for the camp. So there will be classes 11:30 to 12:30. So you can attend that class or you can attend this class. Here also we will have the class.